Hi Carol, this is Jeanette Papadakis. I just finished my website for our final projects. So it's called Gaming Ninjita. My son actually helped me pick this out. So I have all my tabs up here. So my favorite assignment was the brainstorming goals assignment. I did really enjoy this one because I was able to visualize more about the goals that I'm wanting to work on, how to achieve some of these things that I didn't know that I wanted until I had to write them down. I did notice that a lot of them had several things that I could work on, where some of them, maybe not as many as I thought I would be able to put down on there, but I liked being able to visualize what I could do to work towards some of these things that I'm wanting in my life, like have more quiet time daily, exercise a couple of times a week, some things for my spiritual. I thought, well, I could go to church a few times a month just to see how that helps. I could listen to more uplifting music to see if that will help me in between. So it was kind of nice to work on those. I also added the brainstorming goals worksheet, so that way you could see kind of what it was like before all my scribbles were on it. I thought it was a really good planner to do, because there was, how to balance your fun with how you're wanting to make more money, with mental, which is school, and balancing that with your lifestyle, with your health, and your job at the same time. So it was nice to figure out how that all kind of fit together and what to do to make them all work, and how some of the goals actually went really well and correlated with each other. I think that was a really good assignment to have. My least favorite assignment, I think, was the gaming job possibilities. It wasn't that I didn't enjoy it. I thought it was really interesting, but I took the class as the gaming class because it was something my son was very interested in, and I thought it was really cool, not because I wanted to get into that as my career. So although I think it is a very, very fantastic assignment for people that were taking the class to maybe further their gaming career or something in roles in the gaming industry, I didn't feel like it was necessarily for me, but it was really interesting to see what kind of jobs I could do if that's the route I wanted to go. I also added a link to the website that you gave us where I found all of those different jobs. My son actually wants to be an animator for games, so that was kind of fun for him to be able to browse through, and game designer and game programming. So he was able to kind of go through and see everything that he was thinking was going to be great for him too. So the one I thought was the least effective was just the note-taking one, only because I tried different note styles. I thought that it took me much too long to try to organize them in the Cornell style, and then I saw the bubble one that was in there, which my son actually liked, and he thought it was great, but I noticed that even trying to adjust them between the different note styles, my before notes were very similar to my after notes, just because I've done it for years and I feel very comfortable with it. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll get note cards or Post-its, and I'll put them on top of each section after I've gone through to study them, to make sure that I know this is what this section's about, and then I'll kind of condense it into a smaller chunk. So I'll have one Post-it here, and then I can review that Post-it instead of the whole thing. And I actually added a link to the examples of the different note-taking styles that had pictures, so you could kind of see the different styles that we talked about in the book as well. So, and then I added my favorite video I thought it was really funny. My son thought it was hilarious. So the most effective assignment for me was the degree evaluation and completion plan. I thought that one was fantastic because I was able to sit through and talk with my advisor, who let me know what I needed to take before getting into the nursing program, and what I could hold off on. And then as I'm waiting to get into the nursing program, I could take these classes to kind of bump up and get my associates in science instead of just my nursing as well, so I could essentially, from what I understand, have two. So I had the course progression worksheet that I worked on. I had added everything that I was going to be taking for the summer coming up, and then I added the link to that progression worksheet so that it was on there, the blank one as well. But now I have my plan ready so I can get my degree ready through CWI, which was fantastic. So I have my perspective page, my final reflection. I really enjoyed this class because it was so much fun, and it brought gaming into it and classes and how to kind of go about all these things. And even though it wasn't directed toward my career, I thought that it just kind of goes over all these different, a whole spectrum of different things it could be, which was fantastic. And I like her little face. I thought I did really well in the journals. That's my favorite part of anything, is being able to sit down and write down what I'm thinking. I loved all the straightforward questions that you wanted us to answer. I don't like to have to guess on what I need to be doing. I like everything to be ready to go. I did have a lot of trouble with the embedding on here, so that one was not my favorite part, but I did figure that out. I do have a fear of test taking, so being able to look through all the different bits and pieces at that part in the book and kind of going through and researching my own on that was fantastic. So I was able to find some websites. This one was a cute one. It was through scholastic.com. That helps you do some exercises before tests to help you to work on that. Also, I really did take to heart the progression worksheet. So I have everything set out for my next summer, or for this coming summer, and then next fall. And then I have kind of a backup plan as well based on that progression plan. If I don't get into the nursing program the first time I try, then I have all the backup things I'm going to do for the next year until I can apply, unless CWI changes it, where you can apply twice a year instead of just the once a year. So we'll see how that goes as well. I am slightly anticipating having some issues when I'm not able to do only online classes anymore, because I get very distracted. So having people around me doing everything distracts me, but knowing what I do now about being in the front of the classroom, being ready to go, making sure that I've slept well, I've eaten well, and that I, throw all those extra things out of my brain that I don't need for class and putting them off to the side, writing them down when I can think about them, and then pushing that off to the side, kind of putting a pin in it until later, I think will help me a lot. So I'm thoroughly enjoying this class. I thought it was fantastic, and I really appreciate all of your comments and your feedback that you've given. It's helped a lot, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.